start. Oh, broadcasting. Yeah, it's that red light there. Pretty
broadcasting.
Cool, huh?
The future.
Live to the world. All right, welcome everyone to SAS Bites. This is your weekly bite of SAS during your lunch break. Well, our lunch break. This is literally our lunch break. This is kind of nice. So we're at SAS Camp here, Camp SAS.
Camp SAS.
I totally
SAS
keep
Camp.
doing it. Camp SAS. I know I go screw up a few other things.
Yeah, well, I only did that kind of, it's a little trolly, the name, to be honest. Like everybody has camps.
Exactly, and I like it.
I was like, no, we're not going to go to SAS.
Not SAS Camp.
No, it's not SAS Camp. That's like a bar camp.
It's like Camp Winnebago kind of thing.
Yeah.
Totally,
it's like a real
totally.
camp.
It's like I feel like I'm on the National Lampoon's Vacation or something. That's
Well, the people watching this can't actually see, but we're in a beautiful forest right now. There's wood
Look at the
nymphs,
ducks.
and
Look at those ducks.
it's great for birding.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
so-
crap. There went. Okay, there's one less duck now, but it's a fun place to be. So we're on the stage. It's literally the stage with SAS behind us at SAS Camp. Camp SAS. I'll just stop saying it. How about that?
Yeah, we're at the conference.
Yeah, we're at the conference, and actually with a live audience. This is my first SAS Bites with a live audience.
Say hi, live audience.
Woo! Actually picks up really well, so excellent. Actually, my first one with a live person sitting next to me, even better. So you're kind enough to bring a microphone that works and hopefully works well. So
This is the infamous microphone from my podcast.
that is. We have
a microphone.
Yeah.
This is
Which,
it.
feel free to plug that. What is that?
If anybody, it's a comedy podcast I do.
Oh, even better.
Called We Have a Microphone. I do it with my husband, and we drink a cocktail and just talk about whatever we want to talk about. It's pretty. It's if you're feeling, it's like one of those podcasts.
You sit down with a beer and or a
cocktail.
couple. Yeah, cocktail. Sorry.
No, it's one of those podcasts where basically, if you're feeling kind of lonely and you have an hour and you want to feel like you're hanging out with some people,
There you go. It's all about the community. Be part of that community. I like
it's just
that.
fun. We just talk.
Totally.
Yeah.
So we're halfway through the day. We just finished up lunch, which was excellent. Little tin drum down there, right there. What did you have? Was it anything good?
I don't eat lunch.
You don't even eat lunch. That's
Nope.
right. Your gin diet. You must have been
I don't-
back with that.
It's been a weird thing. I really have never eaten breakfast or lunch.
Uh-huh.
It's so I get really soporific if I
I don't even know what
eat
that
food.
word means.
Sleepy.
Sleepy.
I guess
that
I could have
works.
just used the word sleepy.
Yes.
But I'm just showing off.
Yeah.
No, I get really. I always have. As
Weird.
soon as I eat, I'm just like
ready to take it down.
useless. I am just a slug. So I kind of fast during the day.
Yeah, it works. All right. Well, we won't talk about your lunch then.
That's a pro tip for
Yeah.
anyone out there.
You need to stay awake.
Don't
You're
listen to the
falling
doctor.
asleep. So we've just finished lunch. Waiting for people to come back. The next one. What do we have up next? There was a laptop with it, and it
We got
just appeared.
Ian
Ian.
and then Berman.
Yes. I'm looking forward to Ian. Maybe we'll get him up and harass him for a little bit because he's in the room.
Yeah.
He's going to talk about why not to use SAS. Bring it up here.
Yeah,
come on. No. What?
Oh, he's running away. All right. No, he put in the talk proposal, why not to use SAS? And I was like, this is so intensely trolly, which is so intensely Ian that
You had to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's I'm not gonna give it away. I think it's partially tongue in cheek.
Yes.
But we'll see. Otherwise it'll be a really awkward afternoon.
A little tongue, lots of cheek.
Cool.
Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on from that. So we've had two today. Actually, I spoke first. You, for some reason, decided to put the most technical talk with one of the longest time slots at the beginning of the morning.
Beginning of the morning.
That's good, and it's just kind of all downhill from there. But I mean,
Well, I feel like when a lot of times I'll see technical talks get the late afternoon slot because I think
after
that,
everyone's eaten and falling asleep.
well, right. The theory
Yes.
is that you've worked into it. I understand that, but I also want to try the alternate theory of, well, everyone's awake.
Yeah,
Everybody's there in the morning. Like, if you're going to understand this or have, like, if you don't,
You're not going to leave. Is the point?
and then the afternoon after you eat, like, it's a lot of nice talks, a lot of concepts. You
Very
kind of
good
think
point.
through them.
Yeah.
Don't
you mean, like,
it's more
hard-
afternoony.
That
than-
works. Anyway, I think it went well. I mean, it's always tough with those talks.
That would
But I look in the audience and everyone's just kind of not like, you say a joke and you get no response. You're like, okay, this is tanking. But fortunately, it sounded like it went out okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Is that a regression testing?
Yeah, visual regression. Yeah,
Which-
tons of fun. I won't get into it now because that's not the part of the point. No, it was fun. It was great. Like, honestly, you were talking about the attendance was like a little less than last year, but like this is a full room. This is a killer full room. Like people fighting for chairs. I think actually someone stole my chair when I came up to talk. So I think we're doing all right.
We're doing that on design,
Yeah.
by design. So you can't see. So we have tables set for a all of you out
I
there.
turned the camera on, but it would fall over.
Everything would fall over.
Yes.
So we have tables set up where people are sitting, and it's 3 seats, and you have to sit next to somebody. And it's funny. Programmers, we don't like other people as much as we could. Like, sorry, there's definitely a personality trait where if you're good at programming and good at talking to machines, there's social anxiety comes along with this. Like, even those of us that stand on stage, like, it's a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
So you just have to force. You have to sit next to somebody. You have to awkwardly ask, "Excuse me."
Yeah, it's not. Can we have everyone in the back because everyone sat in the back? To please come forward. That'd be nice.
No, that didn't happen. Every seat is filled, and you have to talk to.
It's people. A nice thing about people paying tickets to come because they usually show up.
Yeah. Well, that's so. One of the reasons why we like to do this, like, to me, a conference where all you're doing is somebody's reading out a blog post and that's it. All you get from the day is like just learning one thing, like just a technical
I could have read
skill.
The blog post myself.
You could learn. You could read the blog post. You could go to a treehouse course on some subject. Like, you don't need to fly to another city or buy a ticket. What you can't do in those situations, like, why conferences are cool, it's the people.
Definitely.
Ooh, sorry, got a Red Bull hiccup on.
Yeah, we had a great time last night. So everyone over at Mahan's, lots of fun conversations. It's loud. And I've been kind of on a tour. I've been up in Red Hat for a couple days, and same thing, like late nights, like loud bars, trying to have conversations, like fun tech conversations. Like, I hope I still have a voice when I show up here today. But it was fun. It was a great time. Some good food. There's lots of good drinks over there. It's a neat little, it's totally authentic Irish. Yeah. It's amazing.
Who knew Atlanta had such a large Irish population?
It's incredible. I know. I'll stop with any leprechaun jokes, but it's a lot of fun. And getting to have people come in a little early, talk and meet some of the people that we've known for. I mean, I'm sure you still have it where, like, I've known this person for I don't know how long, and this is the first time I actually us.
Definitely.
Yeah. We've known each other for quite a while, and like the first time in the same meet space at the same time.
Yes,
is pretty awesome.
And that's so many cool things happen when you do that. Like podcasts.
And lots of people.
Yeah, lots of people. Should we take questions or whatever?
Sure. Oh, I was gonna let's give a quick. The one thing
I'm not hosting this.
Trying. You're trying to steal my show. I think one of the good stories is. This is a big undertaking for you every year. I mean, this is a lot of work. You did it last year. You said, no way am I ever going to do it again. And yet you did.
No, I said I'm going to wait 6 months.
Oh, okay. So I'm just curious, like, what's your story coming into this? Because putting on a conference of whatever size, you're getting speakers. People are flying in from all over the country. Logistics all over the place. What's your experience? Should anyone ever consider doing this in their entire life?
Probably not. I don't know. Well, I would say definitely don't do it to make money. That's rule number one. It's like writing a book.
Yes.
No, you're not going to make any money. It might be well worth your time and energy, but don't expect that. We want to, this whole idea started because we wanted to do a cheaper conference with less. Like, SAS Camp is awesome, and like super shout out to that awesome team. But like, it's a real conference. They put on a conference. They do cool stuff. Like, the tickets are a bit more expensive.
They actually do lunch, right?
Yeah, they do. They do like a real lunch. They it's like a much bigger production than this. It's funny. I feel like we just kind of wanted to do something with like cheaper tickets, easier for people just to come together, hang out. Something a little more casual. Yeah. Like, I think the main conference should be something a little more, it's not formal, that's the wrong word. Because they do lots of cool stuff at SAS Conf. Like, it's not a stuffy conference.
They had a party on a boat.
Yeah, there was a party on a boat. We do, surprise everybody, there's no party on a boat here.
There's no boat.
No. We went to Costco and bought some good bourbon. So.
Hey, that's totally fine with me.
Yeah, it's our party.
Yeah, one thing we talked about last night a bit of the difference between that, the accessibility of it, because you kind of have two target audiences. You can target the person that already has that job, who is working somewhere that pays for them to go to conferences, but they don't care if it's $400 or $500 for a ticket and whatever the hotel cost is and so on and so forth. But you get a bunch of people already in the industry. And then you can actually pay to get pay speakers to come out, or you go the opposite direction.
Right. So there's a lot of conferences, especially the ones that are very generous with their speakers, which we are not. Sorry, we are not very generous to our speakers.
You bought me dinner.
I did buy you dinner. But it's because, sorry, yeah, you have a trade-off.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can provide everything for speakers, and theoretically, maybe you can get some speakers out of that who are not people who would normally be able to afford to go to a conference or get there themselves. But then you kind of trade that your audience, most of them are paying a lot more money.
Yes.
And you can do student tickets. There's ways to make that better. I don't think it's like a
all or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you can do like tiered stuff, but in the end, your average, sorry, if you do more student tickets, you're just charging even more for the people who have jobs.
Yeah.
So you end up getting the, 90% of the room are consultants who are paid like a ton. And I think, for Michael and I, like we have a real passion for people who are getting into technology and new people. Like that's, like SAS is very much one of the first technologies a lot of people learn.
Yes.
And we're very aware of that. And that's like, it's your first kind of programming language.
Yeah, you learn logic, you learn loops.
You're like, oh, an if statement, now that makes sense.
Yes.
Like, it's not hello world. I'm actually been working on something that I care about. So, we really we try to keep ticket price as low as possible. And we try to do it as low key as possible to just, to have more people come out and buy the tickets who maybe this is their first conference, and they don't currently have a job in technology.
I don't think they're in the room, but we have like high schooler coming out to the conference, right? I don't know if you just meet two.
I think we might have more than that. I think we here in high school.
They must be having a good lunch.
That's exactly what we want. And I end up meeting at I'm a treehouse teacher, and sometimes, and
I play one on television.
Yeah, I'm an occasional treehouse teacher. So, I love going to conferences because I meet a lot of the students at those. And it's really cool to just get to shake their hands and meet people and tell them you're welcome here. Because you can learn online, right? And you're like, oh, okay, now I get how CSS works. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then you're like, it's a big jump to going I can now be part of something and I can now get a job. I can even getting permission to meet the people that you could work with. I don't know, there's a weird thing that happens, and it's really important to me that the next step after starting to learn technology is to get out there and get to a real event. And so that's part of why we decided to do it this way.
Yeah, and we were all in that place at one point. The first conference you get to go to, or the first time you meet someone that you've learned something from, that you look up to or something, and then you finally learn more, and then you get a chance to do the exact same thing for the next generation that comes in. So it's always a heartwarming kind of sensation. So no, it's a good conference. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to whatever sassy, cheeky stuff is coming up for the rest of the afternoon.
Yep.
Any particular questions that anyone has for Hampton about the conference?
Or Micah.
Or sure. Or many other speakers that are caught in this room at the moment.
Yeah. Well, this is for him. In the introduction, you mentioned that you would love to make the mix-in syntax less verbose. Can you elaborate on what, in the ideal world, what the mix-in syntax would be?
And I'll repeat that real quick.
Yeah.
So in your keynote,
it was a
keynote. It was totally a keynote.
I didn't repeat. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, one of the things you mentioned was that you weren't as happy with the verbosity of the mix-in syntax.
Well, it's at include.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like
and it's just a core part of SAS.
Yes. So the original SAS syntax, right, has, I believe, plus. Yeah. I use SCSS almost all the time now, which most people do too.
Yeah.
But the original syntax we had a really short. It was very short to include something. And then with SCSS at that time, the thinking was that we wanted the SCSS syntax to be as close to something the W3C might use as possible.
Okay.
So things like the at syntax, that is something that CSS parsers can be okay with.
Yeah.
And
we have at media, so maybe at include would also be something to do.
Well, I think, and they've been introducing, I think they're called directives. The W3C people out there are like, it's not that. I think they're called directives.
I know there's an extends one out there at the moment.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. We need to get extends out. That was another comment. So what's the so there's a thread on the I've given a couple suggestions and I can't remember. We can't use plus in CSS. We're trying to pick I will get to my answer, sorry. Natalie has agreed that we should have a shorter syntax for include, but there's the debate on what that looks like and what we can do that doesn't quite, like, that'll work with future versions of CSS. Because one of the things about developing SAS is Natalie, especially, who's kind of in charge of this aspect, definitely
Defender of SAS.
Is to keep up with what we think CSS might even possibly have in it in the future. So there's a lot of thinking about that, and a lot of worrying about that. So if we, because when you start hearing these, like when they make proposals to the working groups, I mean, you'll hear about stuff in those proposals that never get made, but you start to see their thinking, and they're browser manufacturers, so they know how their parsers are written. So there's like, you can actually know a lot about how their stuff works. Does that make sense? By knowing what they're proposing or knocking down. So we try to pick syntaxes that look like they won't have a problem. But you should, maybe I'll tweet out the link to that issue, because I think Chris and I have a I can't remember off the top of my head. I think I liked at maybe. I think, I don't know. We had
like two at symbols or at AT? Okay.
Sorry, two at symbols.
Okay.
Maybe
that's
not
shorter.
Yeah, it was shorter, and then it, because I always think like makes feedback.
Yeah, a little delayed.
Yeah, because I feel like mix-ins should look natural to your selector, like to your properties, like your extent, like they should fit in there.
Yeah,
and I feel
kind
like
of shoved over.
Right. I feel like the includes. There's kind of a like feeling where it's like pop out instead of feeling like you're in. But you know, another thing we might be looking at in the future is the W3C is definitely working on dynamic properties in CSS now. So that is that you can define your own property that starts with a dash, and then you can assign a lot of other behaviors to that. So
so it's kind of a mix-in-ish.
Yeah, I could make one called dash button style. Yeah, and then I could maybe set 8 different types of words that could go after that. And then I could write somewhere else all the code to describe how a button of those styles should work. So it's kind of defining your own CSS. And I think that stuff we're pretty excited about. We want to work with. And it's funny, it almost gets mix-in-y to me a bit.
Kind of a mix-in.
It's a mix-in with like an extend kind of thing. So it's funny, we might not actually get that syntax in before we
something else comes
before we actually end up going
route.
like, oh, well, let's rethink how we're doing properties and mix-in. So maybe it should just be a minus.
Works for me. Yeah, I mean, if that's what they're doing.
But that would collide.
Yeah,
so we don't want to collide.
Exactly.
Like, you want to leave CSS alone.
You don't want to get to a point where you have to make some kind of breaking change to SAS to stay compatible with CSS.
No, we did the global variable to local variable thing. Yep, that was traumatic enough for everyone. We're done.
Still having nightmares and cold sweats.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, great question. Was there any others from any other questions? You want to see us dance or sing? That's really crazy. Was it just, I think that's just how we dance.
It's the white guy dance.
You're probably going to answer this already, but how do you tune to that?
Well, right now you watch us, because if you tune in, it's going to do some weird echoing effect. But otherwise, follow at SAS Bites, and those get all tweeted out there. You can watch it later. Also, youtube.com/SAS Bites. And this is actually being broadcast live.
Hello, YouTube.
World. It's pretty exciting. Yeah, so if you ever, this is the other day, like
all 3 of you.
Yeah, all 3. I said a 5 or 6 at one point. But I mean,
we lost them though.
I know we did. I don't know what we said. But the nice thing is, it goes to the YouTube channel. Everyone gets a notification that we did it, and we usually have like 400 or 500. It's for a good one.
So you're saying people in the future will also be
in
watching
the future,
and then this camp will be in the past.
What happens when the future catches up? No, anyway,
SAS Bites, we value every moment of our viewers' time. Right?
Yes, exactly. And this is a small aside. If you ever have a desire to do this kind of thing, doing on-air hangouts are amazing, because you do it like this. You can do an interview, you can do a technical thing with a screen share, and it's instantly in a YouTube channel. And I'm extremely lazy, and I love that. I don't edit. I don't post things. I just
we have a microphone that does not edit. Hit start and go for it.
Exactly.
I'm actually going to be trying some live coding next week, so probably on Monday. So check out my Twitter feed in the morning
for all your swearing afterwards as well.
The word set.
Nice. By the way, I don't have a T-shirt.
I'm sorry.
Just the way.
And then the hilarious back of it.
Nice. It's like you can see right through you. you're thinking.
See, the audience is just delighted.
All right. Well, our viewership is dropping to 1, so I think that's a good sign. Any other questions before we wrap up and get ready for the next speaker? Good? Cool.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for everyone that stuck around at least for a bit to watch this craziness. Who catches this later? It's a great conference. I'm sure in 6 months you'll decide if you want to do it again, which would probably be a big yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Heck yeah. I'll be there. It's good times.
The second time's a lot easier to be on conference, just to be clear. Yeah.
Awesome.
I look forward to having other people there.
Cool. And I will bring the computer and we can do another one of these. Excellent. All right. All viewers, thank you. I'm Callan. Thanks for putting this on.
Thank
It's
you.
been great. And yeah, there's the official photo press off.
Photo press.
And I'm going to walk over here and press this button because it's
do
an
it.
awkward, like, bye, goodbye, goodbye.
Looking for it.